today's last topic that I took up is why we have SLR. See, this is a disputed thing, SLR, because many bankers and economists say we should not have SLR, and many say we should have SLR. So this is a kind of debate among the policymakers. I have taken this discussion for, I've taken this topic for class discussion. So I will give you few points in the favor of the argument that we should have SLR. Views in favor of the argument we should not have SLR. Right? So in exam, if you are asked any question about SLR, you can easily answer it. So first point is mobilization of fund. Hello? Am I audible? Hello? Hello? Vasanta, please. Yeah, please check your connection, Vasanta. Okay. Okay. So now first argument in favor of SLR is mobilization of fund. Now tell me one thing. Suppose if RBI has increased the rate of SLR from 24 to 26%, then rate of demand for governments will go up or go down. If SLR has been increased from 24 to 26%, then demand for government securities will go up or go down. Up? Clear? So can you see that by the SLR, government is creating demand for its own securities? Because this is the statutory ratio. You have to do this thing. So by keeping the SLR alive or by keeping the SLR in the banking sector, don't you think that government is forcing the public sector bank or other banks to buy government securities? Audio. Hello? Is it fine now, Rani? No, what about others? Hello? Voice breaking in middle. Okay, just hold on for a moment.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Can you hear me now? Am I audible now? Okay. Okay. You will not have problem now. So don't you think that by forcing this ratio that you have to mandatorily invest in government security, government is creating the demand for its own securities? Is government forcing the banks to invest this much money in government security? So don't you think it is forcing the banks to invest or forcing the people to buy government securities? Yes or no? If government is mandatorily maintaining this ratio, then isn't this ratio forcing banks to buy securities? Forcing banks to buy securities. So what is happening now? Government is the borrower in the economy. So in order to meet their demand for the fund, they are maintaining this SLR, because with this SLR they are sure that yes, they will be able to mobilize this much amount of fund. So keeping SLR or maintaining SLR in the economy helps the government to mobilize fund, because if SLR is not there, they don't know that at what price government securities will be, whether they will be able to borrow the adequate amount or not, at what cost they will borrow. So in order to remove uncertainty borrowing, they are keeping SLR alive. Okay? I'm not getting anything, sir. I don't know why it is breaking in between. Is it? Rani, I suggest you try re-login once. Okay, let me also try. Yeah, I am also trying.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Is it fine now? Is it clear? Am I audible? Okay. So have you understood this point, or should I repeat it again? Repeat. Okay. Okay. So what I was saying is, suppose SLR rate has been increased from 24 to 26%. So all of you agreed that demand for government securities GSEC will increase. Now what I'm saying is, because SLR mandatory, or because of this compulsion, you have to invest in GSEC securities. So don't you think that keeping SLR alive in the economy, or making the SLR requirement for the banks, government is creating demand for its securities? Don't you think by keeping the SLR, government is creating demand for its own securities? Because it is forcing people to buy these securities. Yes or no? By keeping SLR, or by maintaining this ratio that you have to invest certain amount in government securities, don't you think that government is creating demand for this government securities? Yes, it is creating. So why government does this? Government does this so that they can mobilize the fund. Now government is also a borrower, right? Government also need to borrow money. So they don't know. Suppose if you need to borrow money, you don't know at what interest you will be able to borrow, how much you will be able to borrow, from whom you will go to borrow. So in order to reduce uncertainty for them, what government does, government makes it mandatory for banks to invest in their securities. So as a result of this, suppose if the ratio is 26% and government expects that bank will be able to mobilize 100 crore through savings, so government is sure that okay fine, 24 crore rupees money, so bank will buy my security, so I am not worried about this SLR amount. This I can easily mobilize. So in order to mobilize fund for themselves, government is not doing away with SLR. They are keeping the SLR alive. Rani, you also try re-login once. Is it clear? Maybe you should try re-login once, Rani. Is this point clear? Okay? Okay. Second is depositors' money is safe. Depositors' money. Now I have already told you that how or why banks are so significant in the economy, right? Because failure of bank will not only affect that particular company, it will affect whole economy at a large, right? So not only bank or their employees will get affected if a bank get closed, but whole economy can suffer because of those banks. So as a result of this, since they are mobilizing money from the public, SLR keeps depositors' money safe, because now when bank has mobilized 100 crore, they have to keep 24 crore in safe investment in government securities, right? Government securities are risk-free asset. There is no risk involved in government securities. So as a result of this, we can say that this 24 crore is invested in safe securities. So we are rest assured that this 24 crore will go nowhere. If I would not have invested this money in SLR, then bank would have used it for lending. But since now bank cannot use it for lending, this money is safe. Right? Is it clear? Why depositors' money is safe? Because of SLR? See, this is true for both SLR and CRR, that because of SLR and CRR, government depositors' money is safe. Okay, I told you about CRR yesterday. Reduces credit offtake. Now, if RBI decides that, or SLR is used to control the credit growth, how? 100 crore has been mobilized minus CRR ratio minus SLR ratio. Whatever balance you get, this money bank can lend. Okay, bank can lend. Now tell me one thing. If this reserve ratio CRR and SLR will increase, what will happen to the money that bank can lend? If CRR and SLR increases, what will reduce, right? So reduction in this means credit growth will go down. Credit growth means loan program of the bank. Okay, so credit growth will fall. So as a result of this, if RBI wants to control the credit growth in the economy, they can use this reserve ratio, right? Because if they feel that banks are engaged in aggressive lending, so in order to control the credit growth in the economy, suppose RBI feels that the lending program should be at say 73% in the economy. RBI feels so. But currently bank's lending program is 93%. So what they can do, in order to bring it down to 73%, they can increase CRR and SLR. So yeah, just a moment, please. Just a moment. Okay. So if RBI wants to control this credit growth, they can do it through CRR and SLR. If this is 53%, then they can reduce CRR and SLR to increase the credit growth. So point is, through CRR and SLR, they can control the overall credit growth in the economy. Okay? Is it clear?